What's up guys, I got the pencil here. Zamasu is my favorite antagonist from Dragon Ball Super. Actually, correction, Goku Black is my favorite antagonist from Dragon Ball Super. But why? Why is Evil Goku my favorite antagonist from this iteration of the Dragon Ball series? Why not the entire character of Zamasu? Well, it comes down to one thing, Goku Black's character, and how he's an infected deity. Now, what do I mean? I've said it, it's in the title, but what exactly do I mean? Well, to be simple, let's look at the origin of Goku Black. The green guy himself, Zamasu. Why did Zamasu initiate the Zero Mortals plan in the first place? He was angry, insulted, and afraid of the mortals that had achieved godly powers. He was angry, insulted, and afraid of the mortals that had grown smart enough to surpass time. He was angry, insulted, and afraid that the mortals achieved things that he couldn't. That is why Zamasu decided that he must no longer let it persist. He mustn't let the foolish and weak gods persist. He must take the weight of creation upon his shoulders and purify the universe of the filth that was mortals. But how? The mortals, they had surpassed him. He couldn't train to match their power. But he could take the body of someone who had trained to surpass the divine. And that is when Goku Black is born. Zamasu collects the Super Dragon Balls and switches bodies with the mortal scum that he despises so much, and then the infection already begins. For reference, Goku as a character is naturally infectious. He changes many of the people he interacts with, from Roshi to Krillin to Piccolo to Vegeta to even Frieza. It's part of Goku's nature as a character, he changes all he interacts with. He does this through combat, breaking down his opponents and working through their internal motivations through battle. Not only through that, but it has also been noted that Goku's body in itself is special, unique. It's been through so many different experiences, battles, and conquests that shaped it into an interesting Saiyan temple that has its own upsides and downsides. In combination with all those unique battle experiences, the unique techniques and sensations that come with Goku's body, all that fuses to make the Saiyan from Earth that can influence the Lord of all creation. So when taking Goku's body, Zamasu has locked himself in a vessel that was born for conflict, born for battle, born mortal, that with hard work and effort grew beyond the level of divinity. And every last cell within that body has been through conflict, and via its very nature enjoys its constant evolution. And Goku Black is affected by this the moment he is created. He could have just easily made himself immortal and ravaged creation on his own. However, he found that he couldn't. Something within him prevented him from making what would be the most logical choice. A Saiyan body empowered by natural godly ki with the constant ability to grow stronger through combat without ever having to worry about death? It would be perfect, but Zamasu wasn't perfect. He wasn't perfect on his own, and taking the body of a being who craved battle down to his very cells was not the best idea, because it made him crave not only the perfection that Zamasu initially wanted, but the battles, the pain, the struggle of mortality that Goku's body wanted, what Goku wanted. However, Zamasu never accepted this. Goku Black never accepted this. He went down to the Lords of Creation and slaughtered them to erase the Lords of Destruction, his only major threat. And the amazing thing about that is from that point on, Goku Black and Zamasu could have gone around and slaughtered the mortals easily. But they didn't. A being who should have been at the fraction of the power of Goku Black, regular Super Buu, literally slaughtered every last human on Earth with one attack. What prevented the Immortal and the Stolen Saiyan from wiping out all of mortality in a similar easy fashion? Well, it's because Goku Black felt like he needed something. That's something he wasn't sure, but he desired it. Power, evolution. He believed that he needed to empower himself further beyond. Even though, as evidenced by the time taken to destroy Trunks' world, Goku Black surely didn't need it. The angels are sworn to an oath to disregard and avoid any occurrences within the multiverse. The Grand Priest had not taken notice of the multiversal disturbance, and the Omni King himself seemed indifferent to the destruction of his court. What did he need more power for? Nothing. Or at least, nothing logical. But by taking Goku's body, he was infected with that power lust that all Saiyans have, that natural drive for combat, and it's amazing to watch, because he never really acknowledges it verbally, that he didn't initially want what his body and his mind now crave. Just like he is disillusioned with reality and the immoral nature of his actions, he is disillusioned with how his body, that he has taken over, has affected him on a fundamental level. And you can see it to its peak when he takes damage for the first time on screen in his fight with Super Saiyan 2 Goku. He takes damage, and instead of freaking out and getting angry like almost every other villain, he grins. He loves it. Combat gets his blood boiling and rushing through his body, and he fights harder against Goku. sharing a like-minded desire for that feeling, the power, the growth, everything. Goku even comments on it, and deep in his delusion, deep in his battle-addled mindset, he admits it. Goku Black loves combat now. He loves his growth. When he comes back to the future by force and is allowed to understand that real feeling of proper evolution and witnesses transformation firsthand, he falls deeper as the infection spreads. What Goku Black easily could have, and honestly should have done, to erase every single mortal in the future and be done with it. He easily could have. The fact that the people survived without Trunks there is seemingly a plot hole. Trunks should have come back to an empty world, but instead, everything seemed the same. But why is this? Because in Black's mind, if he killed everybody, there would be no stakes. No reason for Trunks to push himself and evolve, and then no way for Goku Black to evolve. Trunks had become an enemy, sure, but he was also, in a sick one-sided sense, a rival for Goku Black. It was one-sided and evil in the sense that Goku Black didn't consciously see a person he respected and aimed to surpass, like with Goku and Vegeta. He saw a wall that would keep growing taller, a wall that he would keep throwing himself against to increase his own fortitude, his own raw might and strength, and that was all he cared about at that point. Despite being the once-focused deity deciding that nothing mattered more than the erasure of the scourge of creation and mortality, the Zero Mortals plan had become secondary. Secondary to his growth, secondary to his evolution, secondary to his subconscious desire to better himself at every instance. And the question is, why is this so interesting? It's so intriguing to me because we have a direct parallel to Goku Black that we see every time we see Black himself. The immortal Zamasu constantly bickered with Goku Black, wondering what happened to them. They're supposedly the same person, but due to the Saiyan's natural instincts, they are now fundamentally different people. We have what Zamasu should be, an impartial being who indifferently executes all inferior beings who dare cross his path and ruin his perfect creation, including the entirety of mortality. However, we don't have that with Goku Black. We have a being who is still interested in the mortality that courses through his new veins and wishes to push it further beyond. He wants to see the mortals evolve alongside him. That's why when the mortals come to the future, he simply allows them to attack, lets them build up, grow further and further against him. And then, he shows it off, Super Saiyan Rose. Now, this transformation came right out of nowhere. It made sense that Goku Black could turn into a Super Saiyan. He had Saiyan biology, purely now, and even half-breed Saiyans could activate the transformations beyond the initial legend of the Super Saiyan. Initially, it annoyed me. Another form, another color? It's not just a Super Saiyan bargain sale, it's a Super Saiyan transformation bargain sale. And while the anime never bothers to explain it, the manga gives an explanation that can't be inferred from the anime and is rather interesting. Zamasu theorizes that Super Saiyan Rose is born because it's not a mortal surpassing the barrier of Super Saiyan God, but a divine being within the body of a Saiyan surpassing that same barrier. Super Saiyan Rose is the evolution of a Saiyan with the soul of a god, and that is extremely interesting. And honestly, it reflects Goku Black as a character very well. It's a form with a violent and vile aura, with a flame-like appearance that intends to burn through creation like Goku Black himself. This power, this transformation also matches Goku Black's flamboyance, his desire for an almost performance-like flair. The attention-grabbing pink of the hair to the purple that gets darker and deeper the closer the ki gets to the body. It's violent, but seemingly refined, just like its creator and user. Back to Black himself, his fascination with mortals and their ability to grow strong alongside his own interest and power is highlighted here as well. For no conceivable reason, upon his domination of Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku, Black lets them escape. He sensed them leave and could have easily chased them down with the Time Brain, but he agrees with Zamasu for once. They will be back, and they will be stronger. And that simply means more fun for Goku Black, regardless of how little sense it makes logically. Black has already revealed his trump card in Rose. They can estimate his true power and train to defeat it. But Black does not care. He wants a challenge, he wants battle, but that one is far from his own. It is a part of him that came pre-packaged with the body he now wields, and it's amazing to watch. If Zamasu was still truly himself, he would have executed the mortals. He executed all the Supreme Kais because the gods of destructions were threats to him. But what stops him here? His new biology. Subconsciously, whether he would admit it or not, he is no longer in full control. The native infectious love of battle that the Saiyan race comes with, that Goku comes with, has hijacked his stoic logical mind, and in response it creates an insane monster. A being intrigued in torture and bloodshed while being insulted by the beings who dare indulge in it. Goku Black, as early as here, has become the thing he hated most. Mortal. It is truly evident when he turns down the immortality that Zamasu offers, simply because it would not be as much fun. Why would he care about what was fun? He was a deity overlooking the cleansing of creation. Because it's not him looking for fun, it's his body, and he has lost most of his rationality by this point. Upon the trio's return, the battle begins again, but this is not much of a battle. Black overwhelms them on his own, and Zamasu is just overkill. However, something happens. Goku Black informs Goku what Black did to him and his family once his body was stolen. There was no other logical reaction to Black's statements but raw, unbridled rage. But as Black had begun to understand, with rage came more power, more strength, more fun. Battle had become an integral part of Black, and of course, if he had simply defeated Goku, the fun would be over, the battle would be over. Of course, he wouldn't dare challenge the angels or the Grand Priest, not to talk of the Omni King. They were in a realm Black couldn't even comprehend, so he had to stay within his own place. And these Saiyans, these beings that had surpassed the divine, were his own place. That's why he kept pushing them, kept torturing them, kept pushing them to grow, because he wanted to grow, and for no reason beyond the fact that he was impure. He was infected with a battle lust of a species bred for war that had taken priority over his goals, overridden his desire for a creation that was clean of the disgusting filth known as mortals, and that's why he lets Goku and Vegeta escape to the past again. He could easily overwhelm Trunks, even in his new empowered state, or simply leave Trunks to Zamasu, who Trunks could never truly defeat due to his immortality. But he simply lets Trunks get saved, Goku and Vegeta escape, and lets the process repeat again. But this time, after all his experiences, Black learns what makes a Saiyan. Upon Goku and Vegeta's return and Vegeta's domination of Black, Black learns of a Saiyan's abilities to grow stronger via their emotion, specifically rage, anger, and if the battle-driven, insane madman is filled with anything from his past self, it is anger. Anger against mortals, anger against his own weakness, anger against creation itself. So it's only fitting that tapping into that innate wrath that he evolves beyond belief. Remember what rage did to Goku on Namek? It released a long-locked transformation not seen by the Saiyan race for millennia. Remember what rage did to Gohan? It pushed the same legendary transformation that had not been seen for a millennia to a state that was never even heard of and only theorized by multiple extremely intelligent warriors. So the rage of an apprentice god of creation trapped inside the body of a species born for mid-combat evolution? It seems oddly natural for him to be able to create new weapons, new techniques, develop new strengths on the spot. It's like an aspect of what he should have become clings to him in this moment, allowing him to create, and while he cannot fully understand the evolution, it makes it even more interesting. Goku Black is an anomaly of an anomaly. Goku himself is a Saiyan that the entirety of Universe 7 had never seen before. This is his body, the same body that constantly breaks its limits and goes beyond in situations where it seems illogical. Then you have Zamasu himself, a rogue apprentice of a universal creator infected with a bloodlust against the Supreme Kai's own creations. A powerful one at that, as he was able to compete with Goku's weaker transformations rather well. Combine the soul and mind of one and the body of another, and the limits snapping beyond the boundaries of reality seems to make just as much sense. That is why Goku Black creates. He creates a scythe, creates a tear in the fabric of creation, and creates clones of himself. All instruments of destruction that came from creation that surpassed his previous self, all born of what fueled Saiyan's own evolution, anger, pure distilled wrath, and he dominates Vegeta in return. However, this is the end of Goku Black, the infected deity. He goes to Zamasu and honestly makes the foolish move of fusing with him, which seemingly dampens both of the individual's most potent attributes of immortality and insane growth. Now, all of this summarizes Goku Black, and honestly why he's my favorite. It's so interesting to watch a character fall. Not fall from grace, it's not like Zamasu was a saint himself, ever, but it's interesting to watch a character fall from themselves. It works perfectly because we have the original Zamasu right there at all times. It is due to the very nature of the body that he stole that Zamasu falls to Goku Black, falls into his own character, a character that goes beyond his initial craze into an unbefore-seen insanity due to his instincts programmed into his new body across countless generations of warriors. Also just amazing to watch Goku Black learn. Each time he fights, he develops in a similar vein to how Broly did within the new movie. I think it's even more interesting here. While Broly simply grew as a natural response to this situation, Black grew to his new interest in this new strange power. And that is the most complex villain in Dragon Ball Super, that came with beautiful visuals, stellar fight scenes, and a great character to watch evolve physically and evolve mentally. Goku Black is fantastic, and honestly, he was truly magnificent. What's up guys, I got the pencil here, and yes, I want to do character analyses too. This was super fun to write on and reflect about because of his simple yet complex character journey. Because Black is actually super interesting. And if you guys have any characters you want me to analyze in the future, please tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And this is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.